Silence. Complete quiet. Now, silence can be interpreted in two different ways, either sadness or rudeness. It is no different than when we see it in film or TV. Usually we see it in horror films. You know, the typical scene where the character or characters are hiding from the killer, brief moment of silence, and then boom. The point that I'm trying to make here is that I think silence can change the narrative of the story or be a pivotal point in the film. There are two moments that I want to discuss in this video. The first one in Spider-Man 2. Particularly the scene where Peter is sitting on his bed. You can't help but see the sadness take over in silence. He's now recollecting the last moments that him and Uncle Ben shared while deciding whether to be Spider-Man or not. It's almost heartbreaking to see Peter no longer wanting to fulfill Ben's dreams.
I'm Spider-Man. No more. No more.
Following that, we see him throw away the suit. Peter made up his mind he's going to live his own life. We can see sadness and a bit of guilt written on his face, but he walks away what some of us would consider relieved, considering what the next scene shows the audience.
The raindrops keep falling on my head.
This second scene that I'll be talking about is what I consider to be the best use of silence in a film I think that time forgot about. 12 Angry Men, one of my favorite movies/plays of all time. Here's a brief summary of it, since I highly recommend to read/watch this. 12 Angry Men, in short, is about 12 jurors must come to a verdict about an 18-year-old murdering his father. Throughout the film, they argue back and forth of guilty and not guilty. Now, an important detail I need to mention is that the 18-year-old on trial here is a person of color. This is important to mention since this is brought out throughout the film.
He's had a pretty miserable 18 years. I just think we owe him a few words, that's all.
I don't mind telling you this, mister. We don't owe him a thing. He got a fair trial, didn't he? What do you think that trial cost? He's lucky he got it. Know what I mean? No. Now, look, we're all grown-ups in here. We heard the facts, didn't we? You're not going to tell me that we're supposed to believe this kid knowing what he is? Listen, I've lived among them all my life. You can't believe a word they say. You know that. I mean, they're born liars.
Only an ignorant man can believe that.
No, they proved it.
I'd like to ask you something. You don't believe the boy's story. How come you believe the woman's? She's one of them, too, isn't she?
You're a pretty smart fella, aren't you?
Juror 10 is the person of interest in this particular scene.
I don't understand you people. I mean, all these picky little points you keep bringing up, they don't mean nothing. You saw this kid just like I did. You're not going to tell me you believe that phony story about losing the knife and that business about being at the movies? Look, you know how these people lie? It's born in them. I mean, what the heck? I don't have to tell you. They don't know what the truth is. And let me tell you, they don't need any real big reason to kill someone either. No, sir. They get drunk. Oh, they're real big drinkers, all of them. You know that. And bang, someone's lying in the gutter. Well, nobody's blaming them for it. That's the way they are, by nature. You know what I mean? Violent. Where are you going? Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us. Look, they're lushing it up and fighting all the time. And if somebody gets killed, so somebody gets killed, they don't care. Oh, sure, there's some good things about them, too. Look, I'm the first one to say that. I've known a couple who were okay, but that's the exception, you know what I mean? Most of them, it's like they have no feelings. They can do anything. What's going on here? I'm trying to tell you. You're making a big mistake, you people. This kid is a liar. I know it. I know all about them. Listen to me. They're no good. There's not a one of them who's any good. I mean, what's happening in here? I'm speaking my piece, and you... Listen to me. We're this kid on trial here. His type. Well, don't you know about them? There's a danger here. These people are dangerous. They're wild. Listen.
I consider this not just a great scene, but the best display of silence in a film. The other jurors don't argue or convince him that his prejudice is wrong. One by one, they just stand up, turn their backs to him, indirectly telling him that they will not be a part of this. Juror 10 does see this as rude at first, but is then left dumbfounded when he begs someone to just listen to him. Some movies and shows I've seen nowadays don't show this. When there's a debate, characters react with their emotions when they no longer have logic or an argument to present anymore. You want to know what happens? They throw out insults.
Stop! Fuck you, Amber.
Threaten the other person.
Put on the suit. Let's go a few rounds.
Or just start a fight.
Their family is a disgrace to the entire team.
Screenwriters need to add silence back into the mix of things. Sometimes silence can say a lot more than a speech can, or sometimes even a monologue.